What is up? I am going to start doing these weekly lives just to bring more information to you guys a lot faster. And so what you know is coming to Jacksonville, or so you can stay up to date on what's coming to Jacksonville and in regards to what is happening here in the real estate market. I think it's super important for you to be able to get the latest and greatest news, especially if you are considered moving here to Jacksonville, Florida. So let's jump right into it. So I am going to be sharing my screen here, and we're going to be focusing on what is happening right now in the market, or at least in the month of August. So I have this amazing report that is generated weekly from the Market Distillery. Super awesome and amazing people or person that does this weekly for us, but I love it. So right now, with Jacksonville specifically, we had a slight decrease in sales and inventory, and that was down by 20%, as you can see here. And we're also just seeing what the trends are looking like in regards to rates right now, comparing like July of this year and last year, and then comparing June. So they've slightly gone up since the June time frame, June to July, and even right now they're up. But scrolling down here right now, there are over 6,000 active listings in the month, or from the month of July, and then the median home value or price was about $375,000. So you can see that it's kind of gone down. It's been fluctuating a little bit since compared to last July, and even looking at June, it has gone up from from June to July. And then in regards to the demand right now, we're seeing an average of about 32 days on market, which is kind of standard. And of course, once you get into like the higher price points, with purchasing or selling, you're going to see a lot more days on market. And then just comparing that to just last July, of course, that's basically doubled, which is insane. But we're moving more into a normal market. And in regards to closed sales, we have in the month of July of this year over 2,000 sales that have taken place here in Jacksonville. And then in June, home sales were definitely up at over 2,700 sales for the month of June. That is at a 19% decrease in home sales. And we traditionally see that here in Jacksonville or Northeast Florida as a whole, because people are approaching like that back to school time, or people are taking a lot of later vacations, or at least what I've seen this year. But really the demand starts to decrease in the month of July and going into August, because back to school is happening in the month of August over a period of several weeks, just depending on if you're public, private, or going to a charter school. But comparing this past July to 2022, you'll see that, sales were down 8% compared to this year. So that's a good indicator of like our market slowing down, but this is definitely becoming a more seasonal market. But I am going to, if you have any other questions about this, you can also see like where the market balance is up here. I think this is really important because, like I said, we're moving into a more normalized market, and we're overdue for it. So moving on to the local news here in Jacksonville. So I definitely want to start off with what is happening with the Jaguar Stadium. That is a big topic, a super big topic here in Jacksonville. Here are some of the renderings that you can see of just what is projected or proposed to be. Love the fireworks. But with that being said, this month Donna Deegan, who is our new mayor of Jacksonville, she has officially hired an attorney, and they're actually based out of Chicago to represent the city of Jacksonville with negotiations with the Jags owners. So right now it is looking like we're going to be in the billions in regards to what the city of Jacksonville is going to be contributing to the Jaguar Stadium, but it can be a really great thing because I know firsthand, going downtown, this will be a really great attraction. There will be a lot more things happening in the downtown area, and just for people to want to even go downtown, and especially for the games, I think that's going to be amazing, that especially with all of these heat waves, or like the heat index being so high right now where my kid can't even play soccer at school because or they're canceling like soccer practice because it is just too hot. Having enclosed space is going to be really awesome, just because of also the seasonality with our weather here. You might get rain in the afternoons, and nobody wants to have a shower while they're at a game. But with that being said, I think this is going to be really interesting to see what unfolds with the Jags owners, and specifically Shad Khan and our mayor, and what will transpire. But I'm hoping that it'll be positive and good for the city of Jacksonville as a whole, without having to really break the bank, even though billions of dollars already sounds like it is going to be breaking the bank. Moving on to some other important things that you need to know about what's happening in the state of Florida and here in Northeast Florida in Jacksonville is right now insurance carriers. There have been a lot of complaints in regards to insurance carriers. There have been a lot of changes since our last couple of hurricanes, specifically Hurricane Ian, that there have been over 7,000 complaints, and that's, I mean, in the grand scheme of things for the whole state of Florida, that's not too bad. But you'll see down as I scroll down some of the insurance carriers to just be mindful of, and who people are filing claims with. And the biggest thing really in regards to insurance that I would just be mindful of is what your out-of-pocket cost is going to look like moving forward if there is damage to your home. If there's a hurricane and something happens to your roof, that's a really big thing. My husband was or did specialize and is moving back into roofing, but not doing insurance work just for this specific reason, because there are a lot of complaints. A lot of companies have gone bankrupt and have closed, and then that's leading other smaller businesses to have to now fight with the state to get paid for their work. So that's just something to think about. But you can see the number one company, so Universal Insurance Holdings has 643 complaints that have been filed since January 1st of this year alone, which is insane. And then Citizens Property Insurance, 921 complaints. So I guess Universal Insurance Holdings isn't the number one, but Citizens Property Insurance is definitely number one compared to all the other ones. I'm not surprised USAA is on this list either, because we do have a lot of military bases here in Florida, but we do have 2 NAS Jax and Mayport here in Jacksonville already. So those are just some things to be mindful of as well. And then following that, regarding some of the things that are happening here in our public school system, this was actually just released today that AP Psychology could return to some of the Duval schools as College Board approves course syllabus. So I remember taking psychology in college here at the University of North Florida. I thought it was very, very interesting, just diving deeper into that. But if you don't know what AP classes are, they allow for your students to be able to earn college credits while they're in high school. And I think that's a really good way to save on college expenses moving forward if you can get some of those credits early on in high school, and just to, obviously save your money and maybe graduate a little bit sooner in college. So if your student is planning on going to college, but of course they're working on approving the course syllabus, which of course is very important, and especially in today's world that we live in, just a lot of things happening online for our students and young folks here. And I think this could be a really good thing for students to dive back into, and just looking at what the human mind entails and how to navigate all the things that we think and all of that. But let's see. So there's some more meetings that are going to take place by September 11th in regards to the course syllabus, but school will already be back in session, or is already in session right now. I believe Duval County Public Schools have gone back as of this past Monday. Private and charters did start last week, midweek, and the rest of Northeast Florida will be rolling out. All right, so moving on to the next topic of discussion, which is Aldi buying Jacksonville-based Winn-Dixie and Harvey supermarkets. So they are actually going to be relocating here to Jacksonville. They've been in Miami for over 84 years, and now their headquarters is actually moving here to Jacksonville. And I mean, why not? Compared to some other markets in Florida, it is probably more cost effective, and the cost of living in general is a lot lower than South Florida and Miami areas. But they're going to be not only moving here, they're taking over 400 stores, Winn-Dixie and Harvey supermarket stores across Alabama, here in Florida, Georgia, and Louisiana, and Mississippi. So there's going to be a lot of new job opportunities, which will be good for Jacksonville. We definitely have a diverse job market here, and this will definitely add to that. Because Aldi, I remember right before the pandemic, they started really popping up, and here in the Jacksonville area, I saw a lot of them, opening, and a lot of people do go to them. It's starting to be like a common thing, like Publix almost. In different areas of Jacksonville. So I am going to start doing these just live, quick, check-ins with you all every week. So if you have any questions about what is happening here in the Jacksonville area, please feel free to join me live and to drop your questions below. And in addition to that, to also let me know if you have any other questions about any of the topics that I covered in regards to the market, and some of the news articles that I feel you should be aware of, or just some different things to highlight in Jacksonville that are coming. So again, if you are thinking about relocating here to Jacksonville, Florida, feel free to schedule an in-person Zoom meeting with me, or feel free to call, text, or email me, and I'd be happy to connect with you and dive deeper into your needs. Until next time, I will catch you on the next one.